Hello, my name is Miriam and I love everything about books. If you've been following me for a while now, you know that I said I would only post videos on the second Thursday and the last Thursday of the month, but I actually sort of changed my mind about that. I thought, well, if I only share my weekly wrap-up videos and my TBR video, then there's hardly room for talking about other books and other topics that deal with books. And I realised that I have quite a lot of days off actually. In the Netherlands we have a lot of days off between Easter and Pentecost. Because the day after Easter, like the Monday after Easter, you have a day off. The Monday after Pentecost you have a day off. On the 27th of April you have a day off because it's King's Day. And also Ascension Day is also a day off. So I realised that I do have time to film videos, and I just wanted to do that because I love creating new content for you. Today's video is a book haul video, and that's actually also a reason why I wanted to do this now, because I'm aiming for sharing with you a video on the second, third and last Thursday of the month, and every Monday I'll share my weekly wrap up with you. But if there's a month and there's no video on the third Thursday of the month, then that's probably because I'm too busy with other things. My last book haul video was just after my birthday, and I actually acquired a lot of new books, as you might have seen in the thumbnail, in the past few weeks, and I thought it would be nice to share them with you. Well, because if I wait longer, you will probably know all the books that I show you because I've already showed them in a weekly wrap-up video, and I think that's a pity. So I'm going to share my book haul video with you today. If you've been following me for a while, you've already seen it. It's the 15th book in the Ranger's Apprentice series, The Missing Prince. This is a Dutch version, and well, I just wanted to complete this series. I've told you all about that, I think, in the weekly wrap-up video when I read this book, what I thought of this book, but I just love having a complete series on my bookshelves. Another book I got was Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, and I saw this book in a recommendations video by Oshina, I think, and she said it was a cute YA romance. I discovered the meaning of meet cute only a few days before I saw Oshina's video, and I thought it was a very cute title of this book, and the cover is nice. Although it feels really weird. I don't know, I haven't read this book yet because the cover, it's sort of silkish. I don't know how to say it, but it feels very weird, so I'm afraid that that will put me off reading, but I will read it because the cover is so cute, and I think this story is cute. I mean, it has cute in its title. And next are two books I got for my birthday. It was actually quite funny. I showed you Tweet Cute, and I ordered that book when I ordered some books for my friend who celebrated her birthday at the beginning of March. My birthday is at the end of February, so at the end of March we got together to celebrate both our birthdays, and obviously we are best book friends, so we got each other books, and and actually also we both gave each other two books. One was a non-fiction book and the other book was a fiction book, and the fiction book I got was Heart of a Spell, a Dutch book. No, not a Dutch book. It's a translated book. It's written by Becky Wade, and I'm quickly checking what the original title is. True to You. It's the first book in the Bradford Sisters series. So I'm really happy because I already read this book, but I wanted to have the series on my own bookshelves because one day I will reread them. And the next book, the non-fiction book I got from a friend, is Garden City by John Mark Comer. And I haven't read it yet, but I've heard so many great stories about this book by that friend, about work and your calling, and I really need to read this very soon. So maybe if you see this video I've started it, I don't know. I hope I have started it because it's it sounds like such a great book. So to be honest, actually it was on my audiobook TBR, and then I got a physical copy, so I want to read the physical copy now. And another book which you've already seen in my videos is My Legendary Girlfriend by Mike Gill. I ordered this book because of the Lazy Leaflings challenge, which was about the debut novel of one of your favorite authors, and I had read a lot of debut novels by my favorite authors, but I had not read Mike Gill's debut novel, so I decided I would get it. I've already told you in a weekly wrap-up video what I thought of this book, but I am glad it's on my shelves because I love this cover, and yeah, it's so nice to see how your favorite writer evolved, like how he or she started out and how he or she became this amazing writer. All those books I acquired in March, and then came April. I actually aimed for a no book buying month in April, but then one day I looked on a Dutch website called Marktplaats, which is where people buy and sell secondhand stuff. I do not buy a lot of books secondhand because I want to support authors, I want to support bookstores and that sort of things, because if you buy a book secondhand, the author is not getting money for it, and as an author myself, I know that, yeah. But there are quite a lot of books which are not available anymore, and those books are really great to get secondhand. And I saw the complete collection of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith, and it's such a colourful series. I already own the 1st and 9th book in this series, but I got a different edition. This is the pocket edition, and that was, I don't know, it was a bit larger. And I don't know, I got the 1st and 9th book, and I still got them. I don't know what to do with them. It's a Dutch version of this series, and every week I try to read a book from it, because I don't want to binge it in one time, but yeah, every week one book sounds like a great plan. Yeah. Maybe you're like, how is she holding it? I've put a rubber band on the books, because otherwise I would not be able to take that picture for my thumbnail as well. And I think it's a great way of holding all these books together. It's a trick I learned from the Bookstagram community, that if you want to put a stack of books on a picture and you want them standing, then you put a rubber band. If you don't know that yet, you do know it now. But actually it worked for the thumbnail as well. So April was a no book buying month, but I ended up with adding 10 books if you don't count the 1st and 9th book in the series. But I did not spend a lot of money on books, because that series I got 9 books for €20, which is, I think, £18 and I think $25, something like that. I'm not very good with the yeah, you know what I mean. That's actually probably the reason why always when I'm in the UK I spend a lot more money than I intend to, because I'm like, oh, these are so cheap. But it's not cheap, it's just a different, well, because it's a different currency, things are different. So anyway, I also got a free book, which is, you've seen this in my weekly wrap-up video if you've been following me. Yes, Papa gaat trouwen. It's my own book, wrote it myself. It's the 2nd book in my series, and I already read it like only a week after it came in, which is usually not what I do. But I'm still struggling writing the 3rd book in this series, so I thought it would be a great way to get a bit more into the story. Now there's only 2 books left. The first book I got is a book I already had, The Letter for the King by Tonke Dracht. This is a paperback edition, and actually once a year we got this book present thing. It means that a Dutch YA book, usually YA book, which is considered to be a jeugdklassieker, youth classic, is available for only €3.50, I believe. And this year's book present book was The Letter for the King by Tom Gudracht, and I got a beautiful hardcover edition. I also got a paperback edition, but it's falling apart because there was a lot of water on it and it was sad. And I want to keep my hardcover edition as beautiful as possible, so that's why I decided I would get this book as well. My best book friend, who has never read The Letter for the King yet, also got it for the same price, and I'm really happy about it, but I'm also a bit scared because what if he doesn't like my favorite book of all time? Well, anyway, I'm really glad I got this book. The last book in this book haul is also a present, but this is a present, a book I got to pick out myself. I don't know what I can share about this, but anyway, this kind lady, and she was so happy that I wrote a book, and I actually sent that book to her because she does not live in the Netherlands, and so I sent my book to her, and she actually gave me money so I could buy a book as a present because my book came out, and that was this book, De Witte Roos by Amanda Barrett. It's also a translated book. The original title is The White Rose Resists, so it's sort of, the Dutch translation is sort of the same, but it does not have resistance, something like resistance in its title. But I'm so curious about this book, but I saved it for after I've showed this video to you. So now this video is out, I can finally read this book. And yeah, and they say it's even more beautiful than My Dearest Dietrich, also by Amanda Barrett, and I absolutely love that book, so yeah, I can't wait to dive into this book. So these were all the books I got in the past period, and now I'm actually trying not to buy any new books until I've finished all these books and the other unread books on my shelves. And I say this a lot of the time, and it does not always work, because usually something comes up and I'm like, oh, I have to support my local bookstore, and then I buy another book. But what I want to do now is save up a lot of money so I can buy quite a lot of books in one time. And I'm planning on spending half of that money on Book Depository and half of the money on at my local Christian bookstore. I really hope I can do this. That would be so awesome. I think I've got like 20-25 unread books on my shelves, but I also got a lot of ebooks. But I do not have to have finished all my ebooks. But the thing is, I have this very complicated money saving system for when I meet my goals, and also when I finish books. There's a bit of money going to my book buying jar. It's very complicated. Maybe I will make a video about it in the future, but I want to save up a lot of money so I can buy more books in one go. And actually reading books helps in order to get more money. I know, it's complicated. Anyway, I hope you liked this book haul video, and if you want to, let me know what was the last book you acquired. Let me know in a comment, and if you want to follow me on my journey where I read 365 books, I realize now I did not mention that in this video, but I try to read 365 books in a year, and those new books really help with that, especially those thin ones. But anyway, if you want to follow me on that journey, if you want to see more bookish content made by me, then consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, happy reading!